time so tired from doing meth and not having enough to get picked back up that I almost killed a husband and his wife and kids in a car because I couldn't hold my vehicle on the road. Of course, I drink and drive and go anywhere, and I was fortunate enough not to ever get a DUI, or I couldn't have ever drove a truck or probably had a license at all. And one day, me and my wife decided, well, we're going to move back to Indiana because we had just gotten tired of doing drugs. It's like we kept trying to run from it, but it still kept catching up with us. So my wife says, we're going to move back to Indiana and try to start over again. And I was like, okay. So she packs all of her kids' stuff, all the kids' stuff and her stuff in the U-Haul and says, look, you're going to have to quit getting high and pack your stuff. You know, I didn't do that. And so I was just slowly getting my stuff in there. And I said, well, let me go over here to the neighbor's house because he was the one that made the meth. And I was like, let's go over there and get high. I want to go over and get high one more time, tell him bye and everything, you know. And so I went over there, and his dad was out in the front yard, and he had a flat tire, and I helped him fix his dad's flat tire. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to get high one more time before I leave for Indiana. And man, with U-Haul was in the front yard, all their stuff was packed, and they were just waiting on me. And I go in there, and I'm like, hey man, just going to get high one more time before I leave. And as quick as I get in there and shut the door, he's like, all right man. He's like, okay. And next thing you know, boom, 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 hear a knock on the door. Whoa, what's that? I figured it was my wife acting silly or something, you know. But it was the state police. They had come there, the one state trooper had come there, Ryan Loudermilk. He had come there because there was a complaint on the dogs in the backyard. He had two great big dogs. And he said that there was a complaint on them. I don't know what it was exactly about, but when he opened, when my buddy opened the door, I guess the smell of ammonia and methamphetamine like knocked the state trooper back out the door. He's like, whoa, whoa. And my buddy he's like, you guys need to come out of there right now. And he started grabbing for his taser, and my buddy slammed the door in his face. And so then, you know, we were all like, oh man, what are we going to do now? And he's like, well, I'll go outside and talk to him or whatever. And he went outside, and then he told us to all come outside. And next thing I know, my buddy was getting tased, and we all went to jail. So, you know, I'm thinking state police post. I'm like, well, I'm cool. You know, I was just there. They didn't find nothing on me or nothing else. And they picked up him, his dad, and his wife, and me, and took us all to state police post. And I thought, man, everything's cool. I'm not, you know, I wasn't doing nothing. I didn't have nothing on me. But no, they charged us with 4 counts of manufacturing methamphetamine, wanton endangerment on these children, and I'm looking at a very, very, very long time in prison. Long time. Like a long time. Long time. I don't know if you know what the charge is on wanton endangerment on a child, but it's like Class A felony, and it carries a long sentence. Yeah, I forgot to tell you about the time I got arrested for cocaine in Indiana, but we'll skip that. I was also arrested for bank robbery, and 3.5 months later they figured out it wasn't me. It's kind of like God just kept trying to stop me before I got too far. Before all this happened, I'd actually left my wife. I was cheating on my wife, and I left her and went to Texas. And then my wife calls me on the phone. My wife knew about all this, and she's like, the cops are looking for you. I was like, no, they ain't. I ain't done nothing. She said, yeah, they're looking for you for federal bank robbery. I said, no, they're not. I said, just leave me alone. You know, hung the phone up on her. Sure enough, I go outside. We're actually moving my mom's apartment from one building to the other, and we're packing this stuff down the stairs and back up the other side. And I packing this stuff down the stairs and back up the other side, and I walk past all these SWAT guys and state police officers and everything else in Texas. I'm like, hi guys. And they just walk right on by. And they followed me up to the door, you know, and they were like, and they didn't knock on it then. They let me go inside, shut the door and everything. And I told my mom, I was like, man, there's a lot of cops outside. I don't know what they're doing. I said, somebody's fixing to get busted, you know. It just so happened that they followed me to the door and knocked on it and said, is Jason Blackwell here? My mom's like, yeah. And she says, what's the problem? He said, they all run in the door, you know how cops do. Bad boys, bad boys. They go in the living room and they put guns on me like I've done shot the president or something and said, Mr. Blackwell, you're wanted for federal bank robbery. I was like, what? I said, federal bank robbery? They said, yeah. And so long story short, I went from Grand Prairie County Jail to Dallas County Jail, Seagoville Federal Detention Center, Oklahoma Federal Transfer Station, East St. Louis, Illinois, and to Vandalia County Jail, where they said I robbed a bank. Well, it so happens that all the tellers pointed out different guys besides me. And no, I promise I did not rob the bank. I still have not seen that bank to this day. But anyhow, that's one story. And then another time I would, like I said, when we were in the house, when the electricity got turned off and everything else, the cops had actually come, and we had still our electricity and heat and everything on, but they had actually come and done a raid on my house and come in and only found less than a quarter gram of they deemed it cocaine. So I was arrested and had to do 3 months in jail for that too. But anyhow, I got state police post and they charged me with this. So they pled it and all this stuff, and they was trying to get me to take like 16 years and 8 years. I was like, I had helped manufacture meth, but at that time I was not helping manufacture any meth. So I told them no, I wasn't taking this and I wasn't taking that. So the trial was getting closer and closer and closer, and I said, look, I've done been in jail for 7 months, almost 7 months, I said, and she come up with the attorney come up with, 4 years and all that, and if you do the time, it comes down to 7 months, good time, 7.5 months. So I told her that I would go ahead and do that. Well, jail was the best thing for me. Jail was the best thing for me. I got to dry out in there. I read the Word. I went to the little church services and everything else. I tried getting close to the Lord. I read the Scriptures. I mean, I was reading Scriptures when everybody else was doing whatever they do, I was studying the Bible. I was trying to seek the Lord. I was reading the Daily Bread, the little pamphlets you get and all that. I was trying to figure this out. I was trying, God, please save me. I said, I don't want to live like this anymore. But there was always something I always held back on my heart. Lord, I want you to save me, but I'm still probably going to do this when I get out. I'm still probably going to do this. I wasn't willing to surrender my life completely over to the Lord, but I wanted. I knew I could not live this life anymore. It ended up right at the end of my sentence in jail that they tried to give me 12 months in a rehab. And I was like, I don't need a rehab. I don't need a rehab. And that's how I felt. I didn't need a rehab. I'd seen these guys in here, I'm talking 18-year-old kids, young kids almost right at your age, sitting there talking about how they could not wait to get back out. They were looking at 20 and 30-year sentences, talking about they could not wait till they got back out of jail so they could make more meth and get a shot of dope. 18-year-old kids. 18-year-old kids. 18